Okay.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Dom of X, comicrelease.com associate editor. I'm sorry for disappointing everybody here because Omar is yet at another convention, and he told us all in short notice. By all in short notice, we knew about this. He was going to be off for 2 weeks.
How's
but
that
he-
a disappointment?
Well,
You're awesome, Dom.
He can't have planned ahead for this. I mean, how could he possibly have known?
I know, that's what I'm saying. He knew this 4 months ahead in advance, but alas, he's not here. We are here to fill in the void, so we hope that, well, we are not Mr. Valdivia, so we will be able to push you guys to further heights on the Saturday morning. To the person on my right is none other than...
Is that me? I'm
Yes,
Omnidog. From Omnidogs. Yeah, Kane, right on, man. Thank you. Good to see Kane. Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault. Happy to be here. And I just put out a essential collected editions for August video yesterday.
Good.
The live videos today with Dom himself. The first week of August is insane. This is the most Omnis I've seen in maybe ever in 1 week. It's insane.
Okay. Forever indeed. Omar, in planning, and what I know, even I'm surprised when he does plan ahead, but he did have this plan ahead.
Bad. He actually plans.
And if it's not him, it's Melanie. I think I have some stories on that later. If it were ever to prompt in. To the person beneath me, you see, this. They know what's up. We have Omnidog. We don't need Omar.
Breaking news. Thank you, breaking news.
That's right. You can obviously check out Mr. Omnidog, where I will also be on with the spectacular webhead much later today.
Okay.
Yeah, to the person beneath me is none other than...
Yes, Lars Pearson, publisher and editor-in-chief of Mad Norwegian... Yeah, that was really... Formerly of Wizard Magazine, and I have just returned to you all from Colorado. I previously mentioned that I had gone to Mile High Comics because, it's just like the journey to Mecca and Medina if you are in that area of the country. And then I also returned... I've been to the top of Pikes Peak. I know we're here to talk about comics, but...
Looks like we're talking about me right now.
Well, I went to the top of Pikes Peak, and I took some very stylish photos, in my blazer and whatnot. And friends of mine were like, "Did you hike all the way up to Pikes Peak in your blazer?" I'm like, "No, I took the train like a normal person, and I had my blazer in a bag." Top of Pikes Peak, by the way, if you've not been there, the atmosphere creates exceptionally fluffy donuts. They really have the
now
donuts.
I'll go.
Have the donuts. They're really good, and the coffee's good. And but also, you get some interesting stories taking the train up. There is a memorial to a fallen donkey, because back in the day, they would use donkeys to haul things up the mountainside, and on one occasion they were using it to haul dynamite. And unfortunately, the dynamite did what dynamite does. It ignited, and the donkey did not survive. So there's a nice little shrine to the donkey who gave his life. Apparently, it was quite the up.
Did you go up like the funicular? Is that what it's called? Is it like straight up the mountainside practically?
It's not straight, but yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I took the train. Yeah. It's 13 miles to hike. And I'm told coming down is actually harder than going up because gravity's a bitch.
It is, but what did you pick up at Mile High?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Wow. I'm going to embarrass myself a little bit here. I really go to just look because, the thing with Mile High is that it's full price for just about everything. I can get it cheaper somewhere else. Now, I do sometimes use it to get ideas. There was a really good calcifer kind of large ornament figure there from Howl's Moving Castle that I thought, oh, that's quite good. But you know, you unfortunately you do kind of go, well, I can get these things cheaper somewhere else. So unless something's on the shelf and it's like out of print and you know paying full price is actually a bargain, then I just go to kind of breathe in the atmosphere. But I go with friends and they buy something, so we pay the toll.
You paid for something and you're secretly Bart Sears in a Mission
Apparently so.
Impossible.
Yes, no, absolutely. So no, again, you know, price guide manager, then I can get it some cheaper somewhere else. Yeah.
News spooey on this topic, because the Colorado Rockies obviously play in Colorado, although they are one of the 2 worst teams in baseball pretty much every single season.
So I gather.
The thing there is that the ball elevates because you are a mile higher, which means that if you crack a baseball, it has a chance to go farther beyond the fences than in other stadiums. The issue with the Colorado Rockies is that they typically do not get the players that have the ability to put said baseballs over the fence. Other teams do.
And I think any decent pitcher doesn't want to sign with them because of the rate of balls leaving the yard. They rarely have any good pitching.
They rarely do. It's just a nose ball. The last time that they had an ace was Ubaldo Jimenez in the 2010s.
Was that who? Did he almost get a perfect game and that ump blew the call at first? Was he with Colorado?
Oh, that was Armando Galarraga, Detroit Tigers.
Who are we talking about? I think Ubaldo was the one that had the ump.
No, that was Armando Galarraga.
Okay, I know better than to argue with. Oh, I guess Lars isn't interested in this.
He's not frozen at all. Sports, the games of sticks and balls. Well, we are happy that you are here. And Lars is, well, his internet wasn't happy that he was here, so.
There we go. I'm back with you. Someone said I wasn't frozen. I was just intimidating you. So it's true.
Baldo Jimenez.
Okay, here I go. I'm back, and you were just blathering about sports, so it's fine.
Why are these people talking about stuff that requires leaving?
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh,
one last thing before we launch talking about comics. Yeah, another fun fact some of you may know about Pikes Peak. Pike himself didn't make it to the top of Pikes Peak. He was part of the military, and they were surveying the terrain, and they made an attempt to go to the top, but it was November, and they had summer clothes on, so they didn't make it. So why is it named after Pike? Well, he died in the War of 1812, and his dad was an influential congressman. So,
well, it should be named from Ubaldo Jimenez.
That's right, Ubaldo, man. That's a cool first name.
Yeah. And you were, of course, you were right, Dom. I'm glad I didn't challenge you. Dodge that bullet.
Okay, but talking comics, Dom, do we have an agenda, or is it just?
Well, we're just here to answer the people. If you have questions and about comics, life, Lars' very weird, oddly eccentric life.
Yes,
we're here to answer that. I hope Lars is ready to answer that.
We are here to answer all questions and occasionally be truthful about it. Yes, absolutely.
The first big one, I know that there was some brand new day talk at the start. I am watching it way later today with my family and like the way evening, like 10 p.m. Justice time, I think is when I'm watching it. So, anyways, Teague asks, am I correct in my hearing that Dynamite Entertainment's lost its Edgar Roos Burroughs license and is moving to its new publisher starting in 2027? Yes, word on the street is that Titan has picked up said license and that there will be a new Deja Thoris comic by them next year in 2027. Which means that Deja has an opportunity, if Heroic Signatures so allows to cross over with Conan the Barbarian as well.
Nice. Let's go.
So there you go. That's also true. Ubaldo Jimenez did throw the only no-hitter in Rockies history. When do we get DC Collected Edition titles dropped? I think what they're supposed to be doing is sparkling it for the next couple of days. How much, I have no idea. But we were able to put the first ever near mint condition announcement in, where we did not need congressional oversight. And by congressional oversight, I mean it's up on Penguin Random House. We got to announce the Cassandra Cain Batgirl Omnibus Volume 1 a couple of days ago. That was such a super fun thing to be exchanging emails with, and also in editing. I had a lot of fun picking and choosing the cover and all the graphics and all that stuff. So that's something that we're quite proud of. I think there were 2 DC Finest that were put up today. The romance one, which I'm very, very excited for. I have liked all of the genre books with the exception of science fiction. And the first Cassandra Cain Batgirl DC Finest is also up today. Another cool thing is that DC is going to be reprinting the crossovers too, with Cassandra and Ghost over at Dark Horse. So they got the license to print those out and push those out in Omnibus and DC Finest format as well.
Is there more than I think I have one trade of Ghost and Batgirl. Is there a lot more?
No, well that's what's being reprinted.
I think there's just the one miniseries.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not leaving. They're not leaving any stones unturned. I will say that it was a really cool pleasure to be able to meet the DC Collected Editions team and also some other people and their higher ups, the bosses, if you will. And I'm more than happy to call them friends now, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. The first DC announcement is the most wanted poll winner years around. It really is. And I also think it speaks to the dedication that the guys behind DC know what they're doing, but they also care about this stuff just as much as we do. Having that like knowledge and security is such a really nice thing moving forward, because you know that you can put trust in them to do the right thing, whatever that thing looks like. I love Jess's video about Absolute Infinite Crisis, but is it sold out? There's only one way to find out. I haven't gotten anything about it being out of stock or not, but it is out of stock at our sponsor, Cheap Graphic Novels. So that's something that you are looking forward to. Unfortunately, we do not they don't have that in stock as well.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I was one of those don't pre-order a lot, and I definitely wanted the Absolute Crisis and Infinite Earths revamp that they were putting out here, but I ordered it like from in stock like maybe a day and a half after it came out, and they kept me waiting for 3 weeks, and then now they just finally told me, we can't get one from the distributor. So I went to Amazon, but that one could be drying up as well.
People want it. I mean, it is the most important, one of the most important ever stories in comics.
Yeah,
and to say that it isn't, I think is an offense to what Perez and Wolfman were able to do.
Well,
totally.
Well, and the care that they lavished on this collection made it really, really special. Yeah,
it did for sure.
So anyway, so I've got one in the mail, but surely they'll restock it, I would think. But supplies of that one might dry up. Infinite Crisis, that's been in stock a while.
If you do want it, I happen to know where it's available right now, but it's not. It's my sponsor over on Omnidog's Vault.
Okay. Right. We can't talk about it here.
I don't mean to ruffle any feathers or anything.
Okay, the algorithm, if you say the words, will just replace it with avocado.
I love avocado. I had an avocado chicken burger yesterday.
Ooh.
Dom, did you and Omar meet someone from New Marvel stuff in San Diego? It's funny you mentioned that, because literally as we were having lunch with the executives over at DC, we got to meet Stephen Wacker. Omar relayed the story on Tuesday, but the way that Omar was approached was Stephen asked, "Where's my goddamn Marvel Max Punisher Omnibus Volume 2?"
Oh.
And Omar put 2 and 2 in his head and was like, "Oh, that's the new editor-in-chief at Marvel."
Right.
And Steven's been a big fan of the channel for the last couple of years.
Oh, great.
But
nice.
He also approached me and I said, "You're Stephen Wacker, aren't you?" And he said, "Yeah." We talked about his ideas for publishing when stuff gets transitioned and rolling, because right now everybody's very busy with the move over to LA. Lovely person though. I love talking to him about comics ideas, and I think I can just say it, like there's a lot of stuff to be hyped for in the future. Not now, obviously, because again of the move, but they have stuff planned, and I'm really, really excited for it. Yes, I am experiencing con depression in the fact that there's nothing like it here, at least where I live. And in the community that I'm in, I'm like, there's nothing here that's unfortunately comparable or that even relates to the experience on a day-to-day basis. But getting to see Omar at the airport and giving him and Melanie a really, really big hug. A very, very circle of life moment for me. And plenty of that other stuff. Well, San Diego Comic-Con was sweaty, not smelly. I want to make a distinction.
Yeah, big difference.
Very big difference.
Smelly.
Smelly. But I will say for the after party, the story that I have is at 3 a.m., right as everybody's about to leave because the bar shut down and closed. I remember talking to this one person, and they were waiting for their cab or their Uber, and we were just talking about small things like how the convention has been going. I mentioned to them that this was my first convention, and we sort of talked about like this is how are you adjusting to it? What's the feel like? And after the conversation, obviously they leave in their cab. And that night I had been talking with Tom Taylor a lot just because he was in the sphere of like people I'm just talking to. Tom walks up to me, taps me on the back, and he says, "Dom, you do know that was Che Grayson, right? Che Grayson is the current writer of the Absolute Catwoman series." And I pretty much blew a gasket. I was like, "There's no way. How could I not have known that?" I felt so bad because we never exchanged names. So I was like, "Dang it, this stinks." But it was 3 a.m. I was pretty much on the back burner of my energy, but alas, we're here today. Yeah, a lot of perspiration, and I think the bedtime for Omar, Melanie, and I every single day was like at 4 a.m. It's insane. Yeah, that guy
we were up late at BotCon too.
Yeah. That guy loves to party. And I will also say, unfiltered Omar for the hour before we sleep is one of the most hilarious people that you will ever talk to.
Yeah, well, we were at BotCon and we were with these other people, and then they all kind of drifted off, and it was just Omar and me, and we were up really late. And the next morning, I said, "Yeah, I was up late with Omar," and some of the others said it felt like he was just getting started. Yes.
Yeah. The guy was drunk pretty much every single day.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
it's funny though, because
it is.
On what was Sunday very early morning, we had to put out the Omnibus announcement video, and I told him, "Okay, you are clearly like not 100% in your head right now. I'll make the video live. I'm sober. I'm like, yeah, I'm running on fumes, but this is more than okay for me." And Omar is like, no, it's okay. I got it. That's fine. He's not even opening the right applications to make the video live. I'm like, what are you doing, man? So yeah, after a lot of tosses and tuggles, he's like, "Okay, fine, make the video live, dude. Just let me shut up." Kept saying shut up every single time. I'm like, "Okay, fine."
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, I guess it makes it all right. So 3 a.m. is my normal dry snitching. Omar said that this stream was open to me talking about stories when prompted. So that's what I'm gonna do. There's gonna be more of that though.
No,
James,
You're dry snitching.
I'm
Good.
I'm also been a believer in that secrets always come out.
On this show they have now.
Well, yeah. Although I am one of those weirdos who, my body is such a finely tuned machine that it right now is calibrated to get me up at 5:45 every morning. And I'll often be lying in bed and I'm like, it feels like it's time to get up. And I'll roll over and the clock says 5:44. The problem is if I stay up late, it still wants to get me up at 5:45. So like when Omar and I were up late, my body, I only had until 5:45 to get any sleep in. So,
well, I'm jealous. Well, I don't want to say I'm jealous of him, but the thing that I had something to deal with was just the wake up times for me, right? because he's over East Coast, so he's used to waking up later or whatever.
Right.
I wake up to the rising sun, no matter where it feels like I'm at in the world. I went to Japan and like literally the sun's rising. Like, hey, I'm awake. I'm not dealing with jet lag. This is weird, but sure. I woke up every single day at like 6:30, 6:45 or that amount of time. And I'm like, hey, I'm alive. I'm here. The other thing that happened quite funnily enough though was that I'm waiting for DC solicitations to come in. I have no idea when they're coming in because it's San Diego Comic-Con. We have all these announcements incoming. So they were waiting for all those announcements to drop before DC solicitations rolled in. So then I got an email from our guy, the guy in the chair at DC. And all of a sudden my phone starts going pika 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 because I have it where if the DC guy sends an email, Pikachu just starts rapping and yelling up amok.
That is
Omar,
so awesome.
I like how if it's a DC message, it's not a DC sound.
Right, it's not a DC sound, but it gets my attention.
Shouldn't it be going like Wonder Woman or something like that?
I don't have that ringtone, but I have Pikachu saying stuff as one of mine. Omar got so mad. He was like, can you tell your Pikachu to shut the up? I'm trying to sleep. And it's 7, so he never got any sleep. Like he just stayed up and yeah, he was so mad. He was like, do you really have to have that stupid Pikachu on when I'm like, but I've been awake for the last hour. I just got the email that DC solicitor sent me.
I know.
I will also say that somebody asked, I think last Saturday, like how Omar, like if Omar snoring was an issue for me. It's not an issue for me because he snores exactly like my mom does. So I've been living with that for the last amount of years. Here, look at me. I'm just dry snitching. Shout out to Land.
Yeah, wow. What a great word.
Do you guys think? Thank you, Bar. Hope you're doing well. Do you guys think that DC and Marvel should make more animated series in the style of 97, as in taking an older series, modernizing it for a new era? If so, which series would you choose? I mean, those older series are just Bruce Timm animated styles, and we get a lot of those regardless. I would not mind if Marvel were to ever like go back and redo Fantastic Four or Spider-Man in their old like 90s styles, 80s styles. For DC, I mean, it's literally just like you hire Bruce Timm and whatever he wants to do is what he wants to do, because like all of those 90s series had his animation style. I mean, that's the flair. So yeah, for Marvel, I wouldn't mind it. I will say that I am a little bit behind on 97 because I went to San Diego Comic-Con. So I've not watched last week's episode or this week's episode yet, and I probably will in between the time I'm on this live show and also with Jess. I will say that I am not. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of the directions they've taken this season, but that's another. It's another conversation for another time. But what do you guys think?
Well, yeah, I haven't watched season 2. I think season 1 was a knockout of the revival. Jess, this is a great question. What do you think?
Modernizing a show,
like a modern continuation of a show from back in the day.
Oh, from back in the day. Well, Dom or Lars, have you seen the Caped Crusader?
I have indeed watched the Caped Crusader.
No,
I think season 2 is about to be announced soon, if it already hasn't yet.
Right. See, that's what I've seen a lot on my Discord, is that show is apparently amazing. So I want to see that. And I don't know why I just said that. Oh, because it's animation and I rounded up in my head. What old show? Cosby Kids? No, that wouldn't work. Sorry, I don't even know why I said that.
Island in Space. No, please go ahead.
Super Friends would be really cool, actually. I would not mind that.
Yeah, I was thinking of.
Although, isn't that basically the Justice League cartoon, more or less? But sorry, Jess, go ahead.
No, that's actually what I was thinking. Some kind of Justice League, but yeah, Bruce Timm did update it, right? With super, or did he have anything to do with Justice League in the DC universe?
Justice League Unlimited was, I mean, that was his art style that they used.
Yeah,
so.
it was still
Yeah.
in the land.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
like
almost everything from like the 90s to the early 2000s. That's Bruce Timm. That's Bruce Timm animation.
I would like, actually, I'll tell you what I would really like, and it's not just because Lars is here. I would love a Bruce Timm Legion of
Yes.
Superheroes.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that would be really good.
I think that's my answer, even though it's not an update. I'd still love to see that.
Yeah.
Um,
You're asking a really interesting question. I think there's certain shows, the ones that spring to mind are ones that like they did so well the first time around that like, do we want to risk another one? Like for me, there's no more gold standard than the Justice League cartoon, or
Right.
Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
R.I.P. Dwayne McDuffie.
Yeah, that for me is the kind of zenith of geek animation. But it was so well done, and it's so nailed it perfectly. Do I want to see another season? Well, that might be risking it, because the thing they did was so well. Maybe stop while you're ahead. I think I have the answer for you though, but it's not Marvel and DC. The Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Oh,
the 80s. Because yes, I think if it was done with, because at the time we were just elated to have it. I mean, you were struggling for acceptance on so many fronts, and then suddenly here's a cartoon of this Dungeons and Dragons thing, which legitimizes a little bit the thing that everyone's having a moral panic about. And
oh yeah,
it's fun, and it's a great premise. These kids, being stuck in this Dungeons and Dragons realm, and they have these abilities, but they can't get home. But of course, you're locked into the animation style of the time. I mean, because you watch it now, it's like it's from the early '80s, and like so to do very modern, breathtaking animation, and maybe a slightly more adult story, round out the characters some. You're like, there's room for some improvement there. So yeah, Dungeons and Dragons would get my vote. Yeah. But yeah, and the problem with a lot of the DC stuff is that it's already so well done that I'm not sure.
Right. There's no reason to go back.
It'd be a little risky. It would feel a little risky. Agree. Oh, actually, the one that died a little bit, Batman Beyond. That didn't have the longest run.
No.
So that could maybe be continued.
Shout out to the people over at Batman Beyond 2.0 who made.
Oh my God, so good. Yeah.
Wait, what is?
They did a continuation of the comics. Which you're right was incredibly well done. I'm hoping that material will be collected in the next.
It'll be on Compendium at some point.
Yeah, it'll come out in Compendium at some, and they've already released some of it. But yeah, I'm waiting for the next one. Oh yeah, it was really really good. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, if you want a taste of that Batman Beyond Compendium and you live in Australia, be sure to check out our folks over at King's Comics, where you can use the code NEARMINT5. That's NEARMINT5 for anything at 5% off to let them know that we all sent you. It's King's Comics. Check them out over in Australia. We do not have a jingle for it just yet because I don't think it exists.
Yeah. We should make it, Lars. Let's make a jingle for King's Comics in Australia.
I have many talents. I'm not sure jingle writer is one of them.
That's why it's going to be great.
That's right. Oi, oi, oi.
I mean, I did sing in the school choir, but this, I went to a school where, like, if you were a warm body, they would take you for something. So
that's already too much talent for what I have in mind.
Too much talent indeed. I also got I saw this question earlier. I didn't get to it. Did you meet Jeff Johns? So shout out to our friend Danny over at Ghost Machine, who allowed me to get a copy of Red Coat Volume 1, the deluxe edition. Because I remember her asking, like, do you have anything to get signed by Jeff? And I said, do you have a copy of Red Coat Volume 1 still? So I got that big old book, and I did get to meet Jeff. I told him about my origin story in comics. I told him about how my uncle got me into comics with his Green Lantern run all the way back when I was in kindergarten. Jeff was very touched by the story. Took a picture. Personally signed the book to me, which I also thought was super cool. I also got to get Jason Fabok, even though I know he doesn't draw the interiors. He's still technically a creator because everybody owns the company. So he signed my deluxe as well. And that was full circle for me. I sent a picture over to my uncle too. I was like, hey, the guy who wrote the comics I got that you gave to me back when I was in kindergarten, I got to meet him. And he was very touched by it. He was also very jealous.
Good.
So
Good. He should be. Yeah. Damn right.
That was a very, very fun moment for me. And again, full circle. I get Tom Taylor. I did. Yeah. I got to meet Tom Taylor too. And I hung out with him a good bit for all 4 days I was at San Diego, or all 4 nights, I should say.
That's awesome.
Yeah, over at San Diego. Yeah, Tom Taylor was my personal photographer for like 2 straight nights. I found funny, but you know, that's just the way these things roll. The other Tom Taylor story that I have is that it was like at 1 a.m. at night. We were just talking about, you know, comics or like ideas that he might want for, because he's writing Detective Comics right now. And I told him about the Christopher Priest, who got on Batman for a measly 2 issues right after Jim Starlin finished writing the title, which was, you know, after Jason Todd got killed. And so Christopher Priest writes the story about Bruce being trained by these North Korean monks, or he goes to North Korea. He gets trained by these monks. And what he learns is this move where he can almost bring somebody to death, but decide not to kill them. Very controversial story, as many of you may know, who might be in the Batman does not kill crowd. Sorry, guys. And I told Tom Taylor about it, and he said, Christopher Priest wrote Batman? This is the first I've ever heard of it. So I don't know. I guess not many people know that Christopher Priest wrote Batman.
But if I'm following you right, the complaint is that Bruce knows how to kill people? Because it was Bruce saying this.
Yeah, Bruce knows how to.
Well, of course he knows how to kill people. I mean, you know, because you're right. Batman doesn't kill people. That I agree with. But I mean, he's so well studied on everything. He's the world's greatest detective. Of course he knows how to kill people. He just chooses not to. Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to
unless of course you're Zack Snyder, and then he's a murderous psychopath. But we won't get into that.
We won't get into that.
Yeah.
Hi Dana. I hope you guys are doing well. Love to see you. Yeah, Fabok was super nice as well. Very, very much more down to earth than Jeff. But I told him I started reading your stuff when you were on Detective Comics with John Layman, and Fabok was like, "What? Not Justice League?" he made that joke, but it was just super nice to get to meet him and talk to him. Yeah, we took a couple of pictures as well. Very, very nice guy. Always liked X-Men Evolution more than 90 series. See, Comics Coda, I feel the same way as you. And I say this because the 90 series to me is much more like I'm reading greatest hits of the comics adapted in the 90s flavor. To me, I see X-Men Evolution as they're trying out a completely brand new status quo with these characters.
Yeah.
And it's something much more different than, say, oh, it's just a straight on adaptation of your favorite of Dark Phoenix Saga, or whatever might have you. That's what it always was like to me when I first watched Evolution. I also I don't know any wrestlers, Bo, but a lot of it was like, I want to say that about 70% of the convention for me was work related stuff with Omar. The other 30% was, you know, leisure. Thursday was filled with a lot of leisure. That was our like shopping day. So Melanie got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of cool animation stills. I got Pokemon plushies that I'll be showing Jess much later today, which will be fun.
Yay! An exclusive
to OmniDog's Vault.
Nice.
And also, what else did I get? There's a lot of stuff that I got. That's all over the place. I got a lot of shirts, including the one that I'm wearing here from Udon. This is Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Shout out to the people at Udon for being awesome. But yeah, I also got to hang out with Cody a decent bit over the weekend. Although maybe it's not my place to say this, but Cody is a lot shyer than me when it comes to meeting new people. That's what I will say.
I think it wasn't I would sometimes go to cons with friends who weren't really of the community, as it were. They were more casual people. I think it did take some adjustment for them to realize just how much of many conventions is basically shopping. You know, I mean, I'm not that it's all that. Well, and San Diego is different because San Diego is very grandiose.
San Diego is everything.
San Diego kind of everything, but so many shows, it's like, yeah, unfortunately, it is a lot of shopping. And as my shopping tastes have kind of narrowed over the years, like, you know, because I don't really buy singles as a general rule. If I were buying singles, then that would be the place to go. So yeah, it's just a gear shift.
Yep, it's funny you mentioned that because Melanie was also buying singles on Thursday. We ran into Tom King, who of course knows Melanie and Omar. And Melanie was literally live reviewing Joshua Williamson's Superman comic right in front of Tom King.
Yeah.
So like she's giving him a live review, and she mentions, hey, Joshua Williamson put your name in the dialogue for Superboy Prime. Superboy Prime says Tom King did, or like he used Tom King as a verb because
which you can do.
Which you can do, yeah. No, Tom was like, so he told her that he was kind of disappointed in the word choice, but I think what Tom King then said was that was the only thing, like editorial wouldn't let Joshua put in any other verb, you know, to replace Tom King. So
I think when I was at Wizard one time, I was prone to using trade paperback as a verb. You know, they were like, do you think they'll trade paperback this? Which is to say, do you think they'll collect it in, you know, softcover? And the Wizardites were like, should you be using that way? I'm like, can you understand me? And they're like, yes. They're like, well, that's what the English language is for. So I think it's fine to use as a verb.
It is indeed. Lars, which Cleopatra film do you like more? I've never watched Cleopatra, so.
Wow. First of all, I thank you for thinking that I'm the sort of, you know, erudite person who would have an answer for that. Okay. I'm not automatically the biggest. When I think of classic movies, they don't actually rate that high. The first one, I think I prefer the first one.
I love that you have an answer for that question.
Yeah, I do actually. I prefer the first one. I have. Okay, it says something about the kind of people I hang out with. That again, a friend of mine has really gotten into Lawrence of Arabia. And I was hanging out in Minneapolis, and I just kind of casually mentioned that. And they said, oh, they're showing Lawrence of Arabia in 720 millimeter over here at this theater on this date. And I'm like, it really says something that you could just say that off the top of your head. So
I still see that.
Yeah. So as I've had time and places with the people I hang out with to revisit old movies, yeah, that the Elizabeth Taylor Cleopatra really, it's far from my favorite.
Far from the favorite.
Yeah. So
what are our favorite bromances in the DC universe?
What a great question.
Bromances.
The easy answer for me is so I have a TV answer and I have a comics answer.
Okay.
Comics answer is it's Ted and Michael. It's Booster Gold.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's the easy answer for me in the comics. But
of course,
in TV, for me, it's Beast Boy and Cyborg from the 03 show.
Well, and that comes from the comics too. I don't know if it's exactly what you call a bromance situation, but yeah, the two of them have always been pretty tight. Bromances in the DC universe.
Cain and Abel.
Well,
yes, that's the poster child of a healthy relationship, isn't it?
It's a bromance, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, what a great question.
Oh, it's definitely a bro something. I'll give him that much.
You know, because Batman doesn't really have a bromance with anybody. I mean, he respects Superman, but you know, it's not really what you call a brom. Not in my world. Oh yeah, Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Yeah, that's a good one.
Ollie and Hal. Okay,
Ollie and Hal. I mean, there's a few on the Legion of Superheroes side that come close to that, but like, you know, when Mon-El and Ultra Boy hang out, it's sort of like it was written that they're sort of the two jocks, you know. of the team, and they kind of enjoy each other's company. Doing my mental Rolodex here. Yeah, I mean Blue Beetle and Booster Gold are the obvious ones.
Yeah, oh, there.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I could see Cody being shy in real life. Many people are completely different talking to people on the. I think that was the case for a lot of content creators who I also saw over the weekend. He introduced me to a good bunch of them, and I very much. It's weird because, and I feel bad for saying this because I only watch my friends on YouTube for comics just because I don't have much time in the day anymore to consume. I hate saying consume content, but to watch stuff. And it's weird because it's like, hey, you don't, like I think like some of them ask me, I won't name names. They're like, you don't watch my channel? I'm like, sorry, dude, I don't know who you are, man. That's why you're introducing yourself to me, right? I feel like a douchebag for saying that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But no, I think part of it is just everybody has different personalities, right? And you see people interact differently. And I think for me, it felt like I was at home. I didn't have, and Omar can attest to this. Pretty much the only times that I acted like, oh, is Dom shy for meeting this one creator? I have been conditioned and used to asking my parents if I can go to another spot, wherever it is we're going, whether it's an amusement park or a mall or in Japan. It's like, hey, can I go to this restaurant? I didn't have those strings for the first time in my life. So Omar to me was like the adoptive dad. Melanie to me was the adoptive mom. And I'm asking, hey, can I go to this booth? And Omar's like, dude, you can go wherever you want to.
Yeah, you're a grown-ass man. Go where you want.
Like, hey, I remember asking, like, if I was like in a conversation with Omar and Melanie or like within their, their group of people, I just every single time it'd be like, hey, can I go talk to this guy? Omar was like, go talk to him. I think he got ticked off literally a couple of times.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna start doing that to Omar.
Well, it's not like do what we tell you or we're taking away your video games. I mean, or cutting your milk money. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's just a response that I have when it's like, like that's just how I was conditioned. That's like what I'm used to doing.
No, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of on a similar note, when I was post college, a friend of mine got into trouble with the law, and he spent the weekend in jail. And then he comes back, and I was in his apartment, and he had roommates, because we all went to college together. It was very strange. He comes back and he goes, "Well, can I take a shower?" We're like, "You live here." If you want to take a shower, take a shower.
Right.
I mean, the prison experience really took a chunk out of him.
Tom, you were
Yeah.
my story with this is that so we saw Scott Williams, walking back to his booth. Omar he has Chris Claremont's signature and Jim Lee's signature on X-Men #1. He does not have Scott Williams yet, but Scott Williams has his own booth at the con. And we were talking to con, like, hey, his booth. They're like, hey, when is Scott Williams coming back? And they're like, he'll be back any second. Right now, he's on break, not doing any signatures. And he walks back. He's like, oh, hey, the booth's like, hey, that's Scott. And I was like, hey, are you Scott Williams? And I put tapped the shoulder, and I said, hey, this is my boss Omar, who is a really big fan of your work. Omar literally looks to me and says, Dom, do not ever refer to me as that again.
Yeah.
Or I will fire you. And I was like, I'm just introducing you to him. Yeah. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
I'm going to take notes on all the ways to irritate Omar. Referring to him as my boss. I got to remember that for Heroes.
I'm going to start referring to him as my boss too, even though it's not really true.
Well, but I mean, it is true. Like I am on payroll.
No, for you, yes. No, for you, it's true. But for me.
Oh, for you guys. Okay. Yes.
Not us. Yeah.
If I'm irritating him like that, then you guys are probably gonna get more on his nerves.
Yeah, but please message us the best ways to irritate him. I want to, if I can, okay, quick before we answer the super chat.
Yes.
Backing up quickly to the question of bromances, I've kind of been thinking about this here. I actually wish comics would do more bromances. I think it's kind of an important thing to touch upon, that men can have these meaningful relationships, and they aren't sexual. And I know that this comes up because I know that I don't come across as a towering, bronzed athlete. I'm not the most masculine of individuals, and I go out with my guy friends. I have a lot of bromances, but we're not romantically involved. But people think we're gay all the time. So I think it's okay to portray just men having. It's okay for men to have meaningful relationships.
Yes, I agree.
That aren't romantic. I think
it's very healthy. When you see Dick Grayson and Wally West just hanging out, there's something special about, like, that's okay. It's healthy, I think, for people to be able to see that you can be as tight with somebody.
Yeah.
No homo.
Mhm.
With whoever that other person is, without needing to be like falling into a category of, it's like, will they do this, will they do that? Like, not everything has to be, and that's another thing too, where it's like, one man meets one woman in whatever adaptation of whatever story. That doesn't necessarily mean that those two are going to be romantically involved with each other by the end. I think that's just sort of the normative that we have aligned ourselves to. But in my world, it's like, whatever relationship is the healthiest, on your guys, is that, like, there's nothing wrong with being able to say we're really close, and and that's that.
Yeah, because stereotypically, the idea of men is that you don't have emotions, or you don't display them, and it's like, I display them all the time. I mean, I think for my guy friends and I, if it was just kind of the stereotype, where would be the fun in that? Also, if you care about somebody in today's world, you should tell them that. You absolutely should. But I mean, unfortunately, people want to queerify quite a bit of stuff that's not queerified. I had these two friends, and they would do brunch here in town quite a lot. And one of my friends was this giant of a human being, and one of them was, he was very much a pretty boy. He'd admit to being a pretty boy, but he was a lot, physically smaller and whatnot. They go out to brunch one time, and this waitress thinks she's figured out their relationship. She's figured out that, the one is the dom and the other's the sub. And he's the pretty boy.
How did we get to this?
Hold on.
Wow, what kind of
I was just talking about healthy friendships.
That's what it was. They were just having a bromance. But the waitress, she thinks, I figured this out. I know better. So she gives the big.
Are you sure you weren't the waitress, Lars?
I was not the waitress, nor was I the pretty boy. But she gives the big friend of mine the check, because she's like, I figured this out, and of course you're the dom, you should have the check.
That's my name.
I know it is your name. Sorry. And he had to go. Sorry, if you could split the check, that would be great. And she had to kind of go off with her tail between her legs, because she had presumed
what a thing to say to somebody.
She had presumed they were in a romantic, very kinky relationship, and they were just two dudes who enjoyed each other's company. So yeah. So sorry. Very long story short, we should. We need more. We need more bromances. We really do. Yeah.
If you guys have not had a chance, I think I'm trying to remember which issue was it of Tom Taylor's Nightwing where Dick Grayson and Wally West teamed up.
I know the one you mean. I
forget the issue number.
Yeah,
it's there. It's there if you guys ever want to read something that is very close to that. Raw RCB Moon G1Y. Thank you to you for the super chat. The new print, to my knowledge, has the DC Bullet logo and is slimmer than the old printing.
But does that mean there's less content, or they've changed the paper stock?
It's the exact same content.
Okay. They dick around with the paper stock a lot. I think the Azzarello run varies kind of wildly according to how thick it is.
It is.
But same content. Yeah.
Yeah. So my bad. We went on too long for subs and doms. You can blame Lars.
I'm sorry, it's not my fault. It's your name.
It is your fault. It is 100% your fault. Can't believe Lars is shaming me for having exclusively.
No. Go. That's fine too. Go right ahead. But not all of us are like that. Yeah.
That begs the question. Okay, I'm not going to answer that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the reasons thank you for the super chat, by the way. That aren't queer is because for a long time there was zero representation on us for us, and we had to rely on subtext.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. Certainly. I know that that's in play. Well, and I've always had this rule that when people talk about each other, the rule is that everyone presumes that everyone else is going at it like rabbits unless proven otherwise. There's just kind of this assumption when people gossip about other people or talk about other people that they're like, oh, that the two of them are involved. And I'm like, no, I don't. No. But that's the assumption. So yeah, but you're right. For the longest time, there was zero representation. But sometimes two dudes or two women are just friends. Sometimes they're just friends.
Right. And sometimes people of the opposite gender or different genders are also just friends.
Absolutely.
I think it all comes in shape and size. And I want to be able to live in a society where we value that if somebody just wants to stick as, hey, we're really close, but we don't like each other in that way, that's okay to say.
Absolutely.
So that is just a me thing. Yeah. Dom crosses his arms just like Omar. We have baby. I got a lot of that on the weekend, but I also tower over Omar, so
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and pictures. It's funny because I think there were only like 2 or 3 creators that I've met who were taller than me. The current artist on Dennis Camp's new Vertigo book, his name is Stepan Morian. He was one of the only people there who, like, creator-wise, who was taller than I was, and I was like, oh,
okay,
it's interesting. Let's see.
Daniel Warren Johnson. I feel like he's 6'4". He's
a pretty tall dude.
Yeah.
Lionheart, thank you for the comment. I got this over at the Udon booth. They were all very lovely, and I'll just say that I did not have to compensate any money for this pretty cool shirt.
It's a great shirt. I love the backhanded compliment there. It's like you finally have a well, all your other shirts have been shit, but I finally like this one.
No, I love Lionheart. Thank you for the compliment, Lionheart. I really appreciate it. Last week, F-Bombs a Saturday stream this week, Doms and subs. I approve wholeheartedly. I did swear last week, but I blame Omar for that because that guy, not only does he swear like a sailor in real life, but when he's drunk, oh my goodness, the things that come out of his mouth. I don't even, like, I would get canceled if I repeated some of them on air. But I guess that's what we have the Patreon for. If you are looking for more comic book knowledge and content, we are here to... And profanity, we are here to help you out. There is a tier for the AMAs, and if that is something that you are interested in, we have a lot of awesome people who are... I need to be part of one of those AMAs one day. Like, I've been working for the channel for 2.5 years, and I've never been invited to an AMA. So maybe it's time that I ask the top captain if I can join one. And on top of that, if you live in Canada and you do swear, or maybe you don't swear like a sailor, check out our friends over at BD Cosmos, the #1 collected edition site in the realm right above Canada. And at $250 or more, you get free shipping anywhere and also 25% off your order of $99 or more. And if you let them know that we sent you, you will be added to a monthly $25 gift card raffle, which is open for both returning and new customers. BD Cosmos, the Capacidad in Canada. I will someday. I'll remember Melanie's jingle, but I've also been running on approximately like 4 hours of sleep for like the last like week or so.
Is this school or
no? The convention.
Oh, well, that was a week ago, Dom. You should have.
Right, but here's the thing. My body gets used to, hey, man, you were up so late. We want to have fun. And now I'm here not getting sleep. So that's where I'm at.
That's the music for the Australian comic shop for us. Now we need to come up with lyrics for that.
I do need to come up with
King's
their
Comics. Yeah, let's. Okay.
Maddie's
Oh,
in the feed.
nah.
Good to see you, Maddie.
I don't no. I challenge that notion. Kane, we still have 2 more
Yes,
ad
I know.
reads.
We still have more commercials.
Hi, Maddie.
Oh,
Maddie.
Maddie,
Maddie.
how are you? Good to see you.
Does this, from my understanding, no, it should not be, because I think they fix it, but I don't think Omar's just been so busy, he hasn't just had time to record. So that's I think what we're waiting on. But I will. Hopefully, if you have time next week, RCB, I think Omar will be able to answer that question better for you. But my understanding is that it doesn't. That was some of the point of putting those new Omni reprints out. It takes a lot for me to give a Lakers fan a compliment. Well, I'm Dash.
Wow, that's very big of you.
I'm Dash. That's very, very, very kind of you.
Yeah.
Let's see. So do you remember the exact moment when you first fell in love with comic books? What was it like for each of you? Dang it. I wish. Actually, I want to get to this question first. Do you have a list of DC Omnis that use period accurate paper? All Omnis printed before 1980 are supposed to be printed on period accurate paper. Crisis seems like the cutoff point for all of that. When you get past Crisis, it's fair game for whatever they want to. But what I have been told is that if, say, for Commandi, for example, by Jack Kirby, that will be on period appropriate paper. The Swamp Thing Dark Genesis Omnibus, that will be on period appropriate paper. That is just the way that that's the way they're doing for the Omnis, and then Absolutes have their own. That's their own, whatever you want to call it. What's on the channel this week? I'll put out the schedule a little later, but the only thing that we have set for there should be a Marvel show on Wednesday, and then creator-owned comics on Friday, which Lars is open to joining if he wants to. But yes, from Harris. Do you guys remember the exact moment when you first fell in love with comic books? What was it like for each of you? The moment you said, "I absolutely love this hobby."
Excellent question.
Hi, Tina.
Okay, Jess, when did you fall in love?
Well, honestly, it was 61 years ago. And I don't remember. I mean, I just remember I actually have 2 of the first books that I said. That's where I'm going now to pull them from the pile. I have several of the books that I got back then. This would have been after I first got into it. So yeah, these are from 67 about. I just really liked reading them, and my parents weren't against it. So I would go in with $1 every week and get like 6 comics. And yeah, I think when I was like 13, that's really when the bug hit me to start really, really collecting. So that's probably when I said, yeah, I absolutely love this hobby, because it was really exciting for me to start really realizing these are like 3 of my comics that I saved from back then.
Oh, that's so gay. Hey, yo. I love that.
Very nice.
Yeah, these are great.
Nice. Yeah.
A war with the Penguino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 67.
I'm looking great, if I may say.
Thank you. And this is, of course, the only appearance of Catwoman in her green outfit.
Okay.
So it's a great comic.
I don't know if green is the stealthiest to be cat burglaring with, but
yeah, maybe that's why it only stuck around for 1 issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are 3 that I remember, and when I was 13 is when I started really. Anytime we were on vacation, my parents, I would look in the phone book, the yellow pages. Yeah, that's how old I am. And we'd go to bookstores.
Hey, you know what? I'm an idiot. but
They
when
know.
I was a kid, I did love going through the phone book, just seeing what places to call.
For
Oh, sure.
comics?
Sure.
No, just overall.
Or
I
just-
like reading
Yeah,
phone
sure,
books
sure,
for whatever
sure.
reason.
Oh, well, I think that's cool. You obviously learned the phone book that way.
Go
But
ahead,
yeah,
Jeff. I'm so sorry for
I would
interrupting.
have my parents. We'd be going to places in California and Nevada and Arizona and stuff, and I'd always have them. They would not have them like I told them to, but they'd be willing to take me to these used bookstores. That's how you used to find comics that were older. That's where and you find them in a big cardboard box, and you just flip through them and see what they had. So that's when it got really exciting for me.
Mm.
Good question.
Yeah, I think I just hit the ground running from the very start. I don't know that there was a phase for me where like I was treading water and trying it out and then suddenly went, "Oh, this is just amazing." Because again, I've told the story before. My first great love was Uncanny X-Men, indeed. Well, because these guys I kind of hung out with, they were kind of saying, "Oh, this X-Men comic is really great," and I was like, "Oh, okay," because they'd read Days of Future Past and Dark Phoenix, and I hadn't. And then my first comic ever was again Uncanny X-Men 143, which is where Kitty's trapped in the mansion, and
A pretty fun one.
it's great. It's great. Now that phase of X-Men, because so the very second comic was, it was Cyclops off on a side adventure with Man-Thing and Despair, who's a Man-Thing villain. And it was like, it's not your typical X-Men story at all. And then they fight Doctor Doom.
Yep.
Who is not a traditional X-Men villain. So it took a while, but it was all great. And I was still going, this is awesome. And like every month it was like a little gift, And then I don't remember the exact sequence of events, but eventually I fall headlong into Uncanny X-Men, New Teen Titans by Perez Wolfman, and Legion of Superheroes by Paul Levitz. And so I was just poised. I was young. I was poised. I was ready to go, and I just got sucked in immediately to it. So, I mean, and if there was any chaff I was reading at the time, I don't even remember it. I just kind of glossed on by that.
For sure. I remember being a preteen reading Scott Snyder's Batman.
Okay.
I remember seeing, at least when in the small little hardcover that I had of the first arc, or Court of Owls, when the court announces that they're going to be taking over Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is pretty cool. I need more of this. So I just kept pestering my cousin, who got me the New 52 trades and hardcovers. Just like, hey, could you give me more of this? This is really cool. I just need to have more on my bookshelf. And I've been like that ever since. It's funny because somebody at the convention who also goes to my comic shop, I tell people the story a lot of like Rebirth, like that era around was when I first started, buying comics on my own and singles and stuff. Omar actually got to meet somebody who's known me for 10 years, and has known me ever since I started going to my comic shop back when I was like 15, 16 years old. And he was like, yeah, I've known this guy for years. I've known this guy for a decade. He's the only thing that this guy sometimes buys is Tom King's Batman. And Omar could not believe it. He was like, You've known Dom since he was a baby. He's like, yeah, I've known Dom since he was a kid.
Yeah.
So small world, but that for me was just I don't know. That was a really nice moment because I hadn't seen him for a while, and he also knew some people that we knew, and that was a fun night of everything. Oh, why is Lars near Deathstroke? Is a
what
question.
I don't
Matt's so great.
Oh my goodness.
I feel odd that someone took the time to make that graphic.
Oh, Matt does it all
Thank
the
you.
time.
Thank you. I appreciate
Matt
it.
is so fast at those.
I thank you, and I don't
funny.
talk about that sort of thing. I mean, we just don't talk about
No,
it.
not at all.
No.
Let's see, two quick things. Dawn is Dawn of X Omnibus Volume 2 getting a restock? It should be available at some
Yeah, I think-
direct market retailers right now. So if that's an omnibus that you're looking into, I know that it was very hard for people to get a hold of at first. It should be available to buy now. I know that it's available on cheap graphic novels. I actually, you know what? I have thoughts on this. I want to know what Lars.
Oh.
Lars is tepid. Not tepid, but like waiting the waters for this. I think, right? Yes.
Is this Legion of Superheroes?
Yeah. I'm just again, I always feel like with anything, I just dial my expectations down to reasonable, you know, and that way I don't get too overstimulated about things, because that way, if it's really great, then it's exceeded my expectations and I feel really good about it. Again, I got a bit burned, as I mentioned, because I actually got enthused about the Bendis Legion, and that was a tragic and horrifying mistake. This one, I wanted to succeed. I wanted to do really well. I want people to enjoy it. I want people to be into it. It seems like it has a good creative team. I'm gonna let it, kind of bank a while, see how it goes. For me, this sort of thing is always a little odd because, because Jess, you noped out of some comics in the 80s, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when I yepped back in 1985. I noped out in 75.
Okay. So again, for me, this new Legion series, I want to succeed. They seem to pick good people to do it. But, I read Legion so faithfully from like about 80, 81 on through like that run of like 80, 81 on through like 94. When you get to the end of 5 years later, that for me is the Legion. And so it's always odd when they do a soft reboot, because it's like it never it feels like well, they have the same names, but they're not my friends, right? So it's always an unusual experience for me. But and I know that this is another soft reboot, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm very, very much looking forward to it, though, and I'm very, very glad that DC is committed to it.
I will say, I did read issue number 1 over at DCC.
Okay.
Ooh.
People were very, very generous.
Okay.
If you are a newbie to Legion,
yeah,
this is going to be a really, really accessible jumping on point.
Yeah. Sure.
I am waiting to see where it goes. I think is where I left off with it. Left off with the feelings of reading the first issue.
Yeah, and we have to let it go a while because, again, when I leapt into Legion, it was issue 284, and the series had been running for like a quarter century already. And it was very accessible, but it was like, here's the characters, here's the story, you will enjoy it. But it's been ongoing, right? Here it's a number 1. They kind of have to start from ground zero. So I wouldn't expect them to do their very best story or their very best work immediately because they're too busy setting up the world. So if you thought it was accessible, Dom, I think that's awesome. But we should.
I've read Legion before, but I'm just saying, like, if you're a new reader,
yeah, great,
good. Right, this is going to be very easy to get into.
Good, great. So. It's going to take some time to build it up. So, yep, very much looking forward to it. The art looks great.
Hayden Sherman is the best artist in comics right now, and I will. I know that Javi Rodriguez swept the Eisners with his stuff on Absolute Martian Manhunter. I love Hayden. I love everything that they do, and whatever it is that they're doing, I will buy it. So that's
these people who are willing to try these group books. I mean, it's almost a suicide run. Just how many characters you have to draw. And know how to draw. Now, it seems like they're a little restrained to this upfront issue. It seemed like maybe there was like 6 or 8 characters. They don't have the full cast, which is probably good. So, but like, George Perez was always quite the obsessive. He's like, I want to draw all of them. I'm like, whew, that's a superpower unto itself. Yeah. So
shout out to the legendary George Perez. We
absolutely.
still
Yeah.
miss you.
So
Still
very,
miss you.
very, very much looking forward to this Legion issue, but I'm going to give it a while so they can get in the groove and do their best work.
Invisible Igor asks, Dom, should I buy the Legion of Superheroes Deluxes that are available, or should I wait for future Omnis with the same content? Now, my boss Omar would probably tell you to get the Omnis at some point if they ever do make them. I know that guy is very, very trigger happy when that man sees a thick book. It's funny because we met Scott Doom. Well, I met Scott Doombeer for the first time. Omar, friends with Scott Doombeer. We got shirts. We got Act 4 shirts because that's his publishing imprint under Skybound, which does the artist editions. On the back it says, "I like big books and I cannot lie."
Yeah.
And
Nice.
I remember asking Scott, "Did you steal that off of our LLC's mission statement? Because that sounds a lot like Near Mint Condition." We had a laugh at that.
Yeah.
I am the weirdo in that I know we only have one so far, but I really want to get all of Legion in DC Finest. I think that's at least for me the most optimal way to go ahead and get. I know that again, the Curse and Great Darkness Saga aren't available yet, but when they inevitably do, I don't know whenever that is, whether it be 6 months or 6 years. That being said, I would imagine that if they ever made Omnis, that those Omnis would collect a lot more than whatever the standard fare is for those deluxes.
Yeah, this is a problem. So again, this is kind of one of the splits between Omar and I, in that I actually love deluxe editions. I think they're much better to read. I think that yeah. I actually, frankly, I prefer them. And as a general rule, you should get, as you say, get what's available, rather than some rampant speculation about, well, this thing might be available 5 years from now. I'll hold off. Is that really a good idea? I mean, there did seem to be people who seriously wouldn't buy the new Transformers material because they're like, well, what happens when Marvel reprints it? I'm like, you're assuming there will ever be a Marvel omnibus of Transformers. So as a general, buy what's now. I like the deluxe editions. I have the deluxe editions. The problem is, as Dom says, if there's an Omni, it may contain material that the deluxe editions don't, particularly what's going to happen to the Tales of the Legion issues. I can totally see those being in an omnibus that aren't in the deluxe edition. So yeah, it's a bit of a risk, but as a general rule, probably stick to what's out. And the deluxe editions are pretty great. I know. I'm just muddying the waters there. What would I do if I were you? Well, I would buy the deluxe editions, but it does run the risk that you're talking about. The one thing, though, I came to realize again the other day, I have bought that material 4 times over.
You have?
It's ridiculous. No, it's absolute. I don't do that.
You don't?
Okay? No. As a general rule, I don't do that at all. That has to be the record. So, yeah. I'd say go with the deluxe editions, but yes, it is a risk that the Omni may have more.
It is, because that you literally in the next couple of days you might be saying, "Oh, they're doing Levitt's Omni 1? That's cool." And then you go sad.
And I would hope that I would hope that Tales material is in there. Frankly, I want it to be a problem. I want that Tales material to.
Yeah, because we get to complain about it with Omar whenever we do our live stream. Yeah, that's easy content right there. It's my goodness, there's this Omni that's coming out.
Yeah.
And we have disagreements on it. And then Omar kicks one of us off because we say, "Oh, you can get it in DC Finest."
It's so ridiculous. I've bought it 4 times. I'll buy it a 5th.
You'll buy it again.
There's a ton of other stuff that I'm like, oh no. I've either bought it the once or I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny, Fernando.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because that guy has the trade, he has the deluxe, he has the compendium, or I think he gave away the compendium, but whatever. He got the absolute with the tombstone. And he has a Triangle Years Omni too. He has every single format of that book.
There was some guy on Facebook who posted the ridiculous number of versions of Crisis on Infinite Earths that he's bought, and he still has all of them. So on one picture, he had the soft cover, the deluxe hardcover, the original Absolute, the new Absolute, the slipcase, or the boxed edition, box set. I mean, it was like 7 different versions of crisis, and he still has them. You know, as a general rule, if I am one of those people that if I upgrade to Blu-rays, I get rid of the DVDs. I do not keep the previous versions.
Well, you're not much of a collector then, are you?
No,
right.
I'm not. No, and I'm much happier that way.
Because your
But
wallet is
I'm
probably
here.
also a lot happier too.
Yeah.
Hey, Comics for Life asked a question earlier. It's way back, but I was collecting DCs back in the day in the 70s, and they were about a quarter in the
Yeah.
cardboard boxes that I would find them at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, comics back in my day were like $2.99, and now they're about $1 or $2 more than that nowadays.
Yeah.
And I wasn't old enough to be buying 10 centers off the rack. How dare you? Anybody out there that actually thought that? What are you doing out there?
He's calling you out, guys. He's calling you out.
Again, going back to when I was taking class at Iowa State, I'm the very confused student who thought that I was old enough to remember the advent of television. To be fair, a lot of heads in the room whipped around in confusion. So yeah.
In how many forms do we have Watchmen?
Well, exactly.
Which Omar also owns all of, by the way. I just want to point that out. Compact, box set, absolute, deluxe edition, regular trade paperback. I'm sure that there's some special European editions that we also probably don't know about too.
Did you already say singles?
Yes, well, singles, obviously.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yes.
Yeah, so beyond the ridiculous number of times I bought Legion, I don't have a lot of redundancy. I'm trying to think of stuff that I even own twice. And...
Oh my gosh, I own Harley Quinn in so many different forms.
I have Krakoa in singles. I was going to get all of the trade paperbacks. I was. And then I realized that there were other things I wanted to buy. And then I said, you know what? I'll just give the trade paperbacks I have to a friend who might want to read X-Men. So I no longer have those trades, but I do have the rest in like the deluxes and whatever omnis. And then I'm planning on getting all of the anthology omnis as well.
Yeah.
Rate of X will come in one day, at least for me. What are the red books next to Lars is the question.
What are the red books? Oh, is that... Oh, I can't...
we can't see them now.
That is the Bloom County. Oh, wait. Okay, if you're talking these...
Yes.
Yeah, that's Bloom County.
Whoa.
That's all. That's
nice.
That's the complete Bloom County because I am an outrageous Bloom County fan.
Yeah.
If you're talking these red books... That's the Doctor Who timeline that I co-ran.
Oh, it's not Mal's little red book on your bookshelf?
No, no, it is not.
Wow, good poll.
Bloom County or outrageous Doctor Who timeline. Yeah,
and
also, I know. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. I put the Great Darkness Saga up there just to irritate Dom, because as you can see on the cover, Darkseid is the villain.
I like putting DC's logo over that stupid art every single time we get a reprint of it. Lord. You know this.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, did you gents read Bloom County?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Religiously.
Dom's probably too young for it.
I'm way too young to read it, unfortunately.
Bloom County was this just nuts comic strip. You know how they say that newspapers, people would buy it for like one primary reason, like they would buy newspapers because like they wanted to read the obituaries to find out which of their friends had died, or they wanted the sports results, or some people read it for the comic strips. I was buying a newspaper regularly purely so I could read Bloom County. It was outrageously fun, and it takes place in Iowa City. It doesn't really say that, but the artist lived in Iowa City, and like the boarding house where they all live, you can drive to Iowa City and you can see.
Oh, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, it's actually it's actually not a boarding house. It's actually a private residence, and it's probably violating copyright that he just kind of put it in there. So yes, it was a lunatic sort of Iowa farm comic strip but the main character was a penguin. For no good reason.
Opus.
I like the Penguins of Madagascar. Oh man, you're breaking my heart here, Lars.
Well, yeah, no, and things would get nuts in Bloom County. There's a hilarious storyline where somebody is going around pummeling mimes.
I remember that.
with an olive loaf. Just because mines are freaking annoying. And it's revealed that it is Opus who's been driven to these levels, and he's put on trial as the mime olive loaf whacker. That sort of thing's kind of normal for Bloom.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Interesting. That's an
yeah.
interesting pitch, Lars.
Yeah.
I always get.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to help out a newbie.
I was just going to say that
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah, Shreya. Well, first of all, welcome to the Saturday live stream. We hope that
Yes.
you are doing well.
Yes.
Much love from my side. What would your suggestion be for building my Omni collection, as I am a beginner and I have a limited budget each month? I would ask in follow-up, what types of stories do you like? The second would be, how much is that budget each month? I'm not here to. Well, Jess is here to blow your budget out. That's what he's for.
Sorry, that's my job.
It's okay, but here I'm here to. We're here to help you out. So yeah, let us know in the comments section, and we'll figure it out, or we'll help you figure that out for you. Jeff asks, Dom, Jess, and Lars, Bronze Age Neil Adams Batman. What format will you get? Absolute, Omni, or DC Finest? My boss's answer. He's getting that in all three formats.
Same.
I am going to be getting it in DC Finest, and when that DC Finest does come out said month, I will be doing an overview of it. I'm still waiting on my Green Lantern DC Finest, by the way. That's a video that I have not gone to. I know it came out last week, but my copy of it isn't coming in until some point next week. So that video is going to be a little bit late, which I apologize to you guys. But for me, it's DC Finest, and I think I'm going to be happy rolling with that way for Irv Novick and Neil Adams and Dennis O'Neil and all of that cool cat stuff.
Jeff already knew the answer from me. I just had him on my show last week.
Okay. What is the answer for you?
All three.
All three.
Yeah.
It's consolation for the very poorly done Neil Adams Batman omnibus that just famously. Just somebody was talking about that video to me at San Diego Comic-Con.
Whoa! Who?
Anyway.
Some higher up, Jim Lee or something from DC. Who is this Omni Dog, and who the hell is he? How dare he? No, but somebody really brought that up.
Somebody actually did bring that up. Yeah,
that's cool.
I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Absolute. I think that Neil Adams' art would really, I think it would benefit from the Absolute format.
Well, that's just going to be the Neil Adams stuff. So the Bronze Age is going to have all the stories continuously. That's why I want to get the Absolute 2, so I get that art, that beautiful art in blown up size.
I see. Yeah. Yeah.
But I want a quadruple dip because I feel like I have it somewhere in singles still.
Going back to the person who was asking, how do I get into the hobby? Again, we've talked about this before, but like sample. You know,
go to Costco and eat your little Tridbit bites.
Yes, yeah. I do occasionally encounter people who are like, well, I'm thinking, should I buy this omnibus? But they've not actually read the series. They've not actually encountered the creator. And like they're hoping they'll like it. And I'm like, you shouldn't. I don't recommend blowing $90 or $100 on something that you're not sure you're going to like. If you get a taste for it, you're like, oh yeah, this is for me. Then sure, you could totally commit. But especially if you're on a limited budget, I wouldn't want to see a world where you're buying $100 omnibus on something that you don't really like, and you're like, oh, I wasn't really into this. This was a reach too far. Read a cheap copy on Kindle. Get it from your local library. If you have DC Infinite, fine, try DC Infinite. But don't buy a big omnibus until you really know that you like it.
This is just bad advice.
We're supposed to be separating readers from their money, Lars.
Is this where you're gonna cancel my geek card?
No, nobody could do that.
I don't think we have the power to do that, but we do have the power to make you say what we want you to say. You're gonna roboticize Lars Pearson.
Yes, I'm all about you spending your money wisely, whereas Jess just wants to burn it in a fire.
Yeah.
Well, at least
absolutely.
you get books back from the fire that are like fresh off the oven. Okay, Lars. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
that's not a bad deal. But anyways, that is our bits of advice. Yeah, just let us know. We can help you out.
Yeah,
Big
that's a great
Sue,
question.
my man. We got a Marvel show, I think, on Wednesday, and then a creator-owned comic show on Friday. Where I have added 2 publishers to the creator-owned show as well, because the folks there were super kind. And because it seems like a lot of big names like Cullen Bunn and Teeny Howard are also headed over there too. So there's a lot of stuff in tow, and that is what we do have. And Omar will be back tomorrow. He's just gone for yesterday and today. So if anybody's wondering, he is alive and he is happy. Is pre-ordering a good way to save money on omnibuses? Never a bad thing to pre-order, depending on where you do it from. Of course, Cheap Graphic Novels has that open, but I also do believe Walt's Comic Shop, if you live in the European Union, also has that same thing, and also with a lot of other U.S. retailers in tow as well. The nice thing about pre-ordering, just as long as things don't mess up on the distributor end, means that you probably will get a copy of that book. So never a bad
But
thing.
make sure you keep track.
Yeah, I
Lots of
don't
people end up buying something they've already owned.
I tend not to pre-order. It's a good idea. It's absolutely a good idea. It can be a little more expensive because like just how the shipping works out and stuff. I on a limited budget have sometimes a problem parting with that money up front.
Yeah.
Especially if something can take like 6-9 months to come
Nice.
out. It's like, do I, like, as I sit before you now, do I really have the money to pre-buy something that's maybe coming out in February? No, I'm not sure I do. No. So that for me, that's a problem. But there is always a slight risk. And again, we're having this conversation when the absolute crisis in Infinite Earths is the first time that I ordered something week of release and it became a problem. But that's the first time in years that has occurred for me. Just ordering week of time
from tying that money up.
Mm-hmm. You mean no? It's that I ordered it week of, but they ran out. And
you just told us that earlier in the show,
right? They ran out. So I'm freely admitting to you that that's the one time I was sort of tripped. Although again, they sent me an email saying we can't fulfill on this, but Amazon was running a half off thing. So I hurriedly went to Amazon and bought it half off. So it should be in the mail to me now. But that's the first time in years that not pre-ordering has really made me fall.
I see what you're saying.
Has made me sit on my balls. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kane, I really actually appreciate this question. How has working for Near Mint Condition changed your comic book life? What are some of the best experiences you've had?
Well, Dom, you're not old enough to have bad working experience. A lot of bad working experiences.
Yeah, I have. Let's see. What I worked for retail twice, and I worked in the. I worked as a 3 times. Worked in retail 3 times. Only one of them being a very long-lived job. And I worked for a year and a half at the shop, and I also worked at a movie theater as a runner. And right now, I work for 2 people. I work for web head of comicreleases.com. And of course, I work for Omar as of, here in Near Mint Condition. Mm-hmm. I will say, not that I have done not much competition, but Omar is the best boss I've had, at least in my lifetime. Very understanding of my situation. Something, too, that I've never really expected for this to go this way. I just remember reaching out. My origin story with this is that I reached out to Omar back near my birthday, 2024, because I got a clip sent from another friend of Omar's who said, "This guy seems like he's getting a little bit exhaustive and a little bit overstretched. Maybe you want to reach out and help. He's more than willing to listen." And a very long Zoom call, but it wasn't anything like, oh, like, you know, you're fully in and all that stuff. It was just, you know, more test the waters to see what happens. And it's blossomed into whatever this has become. And I don't have enough words to say how thankful I am, even with all of my flaws and mistakes, and I've made plenty over the last 2.5 years. But I'm so thankful to be in this position, to be able to talk with you guys, and in a spot where Omar trusts me with literally anything. And that's something I don't take lightly, and I never want to. And I want to continue to keep on doing just for as long as I can. So that's I hope that answers your question, Kane. It's been the best, at least as a person, as an individual, and also as a member of the wider community. I am so thankful to be here, and I would not be here if it wasn't for Omar.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
Bravo.
Yeah. I have to be snarky and say that, you know, working for Omar must be like your first girlfriend, that you have no basis of comparison. But no, that's a great answer.
Fair enough. Which comment, Badgers? My brain is all over. This is me running on 4 to 5 hours of sleep, guys, so I apologize. What's your guys' favorite run from the late great Jerry Conway? Because we were at the Eisners, he did have his own special little tribute.
Nice.
Moment, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most stereotypical answer you'll probably hear, but I mean, come on. Conway Ramita Senior Spider-Man is a really, really hard thing to beat.
Okay.
That's my answer too.
Yeah, I remember binging those issues back in late 2023 because of a public speaking class, and I decided to make my thesis on the subject on Tom Holland Spider-Man. And what I did was, you know what? I'm gonna attempt to read every single Spider-Man up until like 1990, and I did. I could not put Jerry Conway's Spider-Man down. I trucked that thing through. Even I know with all the density of the 70s, I trucked that thing through like it was nobody else's business. I had so much fun with that run.
Same. I loved. Well, I didn't love, but I did read the death of Gwen Stacy, death of Green Goblin, all right in there, Punisher and stuff. And I had those issues, and somehow I kept them in really good shape. But I still haven't forgotten or forgiven him for killing Gwen, and I'm not ever gonna forget it.
I'm sure this is on record. Whose idea was it to kill Gwen Stacy? I'm sure that must be known somewhere. Was it his
That's
idea?
a good question.
Did he put up his hand and said, you know? But yeah, I don't know. A very memorable story though. So when I think of Jerry Conway, there's 3 runs that compete for my attention. Again, one of them is thankfully being collected. Among his Justice League run, particularly again the era with George Perez. So I'll be getting Justice League Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 4. I'm thrilled that material is being collected. I thought that was just really solid, really interesting run. You know, Jerry Conway was just a wonderful meat and potatoes writer. To come up with a story for Justice League every month, 2 months, 3 months, and keep it spinning for so many years was a remarkable talent. So so there's like that. The George Perez era for him, Justice League is really good. I quite like his Firestorm run. I do think he just nailed Firestorm so well, and that Firestorm run with Pat Broderick.
Yeah.
There's a reason that people want that one so badly.
There's a reason why I ended up, I think, number 3 on the most wanted Omni list.
Quite high. It was quite high, and it pushed all the buttons for me. And then actually, his Legion of Superheroes run, he actually doesn't have a great reputation, which I think is kind of a shame because there's some really great stories in there too. He creates the League of Super Assassins, which is really interesting. He creates Block. There's the resolution of the Brainiac 5 Insanity storyline. There's the Darkman story. He does some really great Legion stories. I will say, unfortunately, in that run, some of the lows are quite low. But yeah, I think that's why it doesn't have a good reputation, because there's some that you go, ooh. But when he's on form, he's very good. I saw him at Heroes Con the year before he passed, and getting an autograph, and we actually had a nice little discussion about his work on Legion. I thought it was quite fun. So
Nice.
yeah. So for me, yep. George Perez, Justice League, Firestorm, Pat Broderick, and some of his Legion stories. Those for me are the ones that mean the most. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Bronze Age Justice League Omnibus Volume 4 is the material that got me out of comics in the 70s.
Oh, how so?
I thought I didn't care for it at all.
Okay.
But that may not be the writing. That could be because I was like 16 years old and my attention shifted from comics to other stuff in high school.
Yes. Well, because when Omar says that he crashed out because of Onslaught, you can totally understand, because Onslaught is dire shite. But Jerry Conway Justice League, there's nothing profoundly offensive about it that I would think would make you.
No.
It must have just been that your interests were diverted elsewhere.
Yeah. I got out of comics altogether.
Sure.
But I love that you're excited to get it, or did you already get it? It's already out, right?
It's out in November. It's out in November.
Oh, November. Okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, no, peace and love.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy it.
Oh gosh, Jess, do you remember this pic of you? Oh goodness. Well, if I was holding my dead girlfriend in my hands.
My dead girlfriend's apparently Omar.
That's right.
Ooh,
yikes.
I didn't even know we were dating. Yeah.
Woo. It's cool to see people appreciate. I mean, I love Ramita Senior. I really like a lot of the older Conway stuff. So, you can't. Oh my gosh, you can't kill Mexican Gwen Stacy.
No.
That cake is pretty. Now, if you want the cake of regular Gwen Stacy, drawn by the lovely John Romita Romita Senior, even John Romita Jr. actually, you can check out over our sponsors in Europe. And if you are interested in pre-ordering and buying comics, check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They also have a YouTube channel now where they talk to comic creators about their books. They have the cheapest pre-order prices for DC and Marvel books in the European Union, with bulletproof packaging and flat shipping rates of 12 euros for all countries, with emails nicely and hospitably sent within a 24-hour time frame. And with these superb brand new titles, out of print books, you can check over Walt's Comic Shop for more great deals and rare titles. And if you are a brand new purchaser or customer to Walt's Comic Shop, use the code nearmintcon for free shipping for your first order over 40 euros. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable edition for Omnibus and collected editions in Europe. Ding, ding. You know, it's sad. I got to meet Melanie and I never got to sing the jingle with her, despite the fact that the owner of Walt's Comic Shop.
There you go.
Hey, bong. Despite that, despite us meeting, me meeting him for the first time, Christian is a lovely guy. I legitimately love everything that he does. Him exchanging emails with Scott Snyder at an after party was one of the funniest things I saw. I was having Scott got a soda. He wasn't drunk that night, and I was drinking water with Scott, which is weird. I'm talking about his Batman with him. And yeah, Christian comes up and he's like, "Hey, I'm the owner of Walt's Comic Shop. I do all of these things with these different creators." And Scott's over here fumbling the bag with his email at 10 something at night. So I thought that was cute.
That is.
Lars, did you buy a trench coat after seeing The Matrix?
You'll forgive me, that's a very strange question.
No, that's typical yarn.
No, I didn't. No. Although in winter in Iowa, I do go around with one of those. It's not a trench coat exactly, but I do have a long black coat because I'm trying to look cool. Yeah. But alas, I don't own any guns, so that's a bit of a problem.
I don't own the only gun I technically own is a Nerf water gun that I've had since I was in 5th grade.
That might
Cool.
and you wouldn't want to deploy that against an intruder because you might wettest your books. So
Damn.
Omar isn't here because he's dead. Well,
Yeah, he's at Gen Con.
no, I think the mood would be a lot more solemn if he died.
You think? No, I'm kidding.
Honestly, though, we do have I have been astute in the ways of Mark Waid's Batman, and by that I mean somebody who doesn't just withhold secrets. Bat prep, absolutely.
Tower of Babel.
I have systems ready to deploy in the case of an unfortunate passing of our good friend Omar.
Good heavens!
You what on earth does that mean?
I'm just prepared. That's all it means.
You just prepare. I find it a little alarming that you're prepared and ready to go. What do you think is going to happen to him?
Okay. Nothing's going to happen to. I promise, nothing's going to happen to Omar. Okay.
I can't remember if I mentioned this on the channel or not, but yeah, coincidentally I recently finished the user's guide to my death. Because I redid my will a while back, and then I sat down and the problem is you have to decide who your executor is going to be. But I have written a 26-page document for whoever inherits the prize of being my executor. God help them. And I was trying to make their life easier. I was trying to go, don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Recycle this. Here's how you get rid of the comics. Here's how you do this. Which I think everyone should do, because I don't know about Jeff, but I've been around the block enough times and I've seen people die without wills, and they don't make plans, and they don't put things in writing, and it's an absolute fiasco. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna try to be helpful and leave instructions. So yeah, but you're ready to go in case Omar dies on the channel. Frankly, that's a little disturbing to me, but
disturbing. I'm just being prepared. Isn't that what a good secondhand person?
He's got a fallout shelter in the backyard.
Yes. Now that asshole's gone. So yeah.
Hold on. I didn't say that I was waiting to kick the bucket. I'm just saying that just in case something bad happens, guys. Are we misreading Tower of Babel again? Is that what this is? Oh, come on.
Well, it's good that you're giving priorities, because if Omar kicks it, forget his wife, forget his children. What happens to the channel?
Yeah, good question. That's where we overthrow and take it over, Tom.
That's right. And we change it to very fine condition.
Everyone, look, whatever you want to have after you're gone, just write it down, because one of my college professors died, and his daughter's like, we have no idea what to do with the stuff in his office. He left no instructions for that. So what do we do? So yeah, write it down.
He did not die, guys.
No, he didn't die. No, he didn't.
We're misreading Tower of Babel again.
No, he didn't. I know it's gonna be a headline on Bleeding Cool. No, Omar. Wait, Gen Con, is that where he went? He went to Gen Con?
Supposedly.
He went to Gen Con. He left yesterday, and that was that. He gave me a phone call. We had a fun phone call, and I smiled on the phone call, and we slept. So that's what's happening.
Yeah. I've told the story before, but at Wizard we would do the April Fool's Day issues, and we decided to run a news piece for the April Fool's Day issue that Gareb, the owner of Wizard, had died. And there were quotes in the article from Gareb commenting on his own death and things like that. And despite every signal flag being this piece is not real, people were still calling us up, and they were alarmed and horrified that Gareb had died. And it's like, no, he hasn't died. And please notice that he has many things to say about his death. So yeah.
Also, I do have the Omar box.
What does that mean?
See, we're all ready.
Well, that's for my demise, not Omar.
The Omar. What is the Omar box?
This was Omar's idea, and I thank him for it. Actually, upper management might be lurking. It's
Your secret is entirely safe with all the thousands of people who will be seeing this.
as long as they know, she can't know about it.
Mhm.
That's the stuff that she can't know about. If I go, it's a sealed box, cardboard box that has all my, you know, European comics and things like that.
Is this one of those affairs that Omar's your best friend who has to sneak into your house and dispose of if you're dead and gone to
The
dispose of
box
it so the
says,
wife won't find out?
it says, "Do not open. Call Omar," and then his phone number's on there. Boom, out. And that's
Why
a little. Don't highlight Lewis's.
I am now
comment,
going to
but it's-
highlight. We know what.
Do you
It's
not
not
have,
quite
We're moving
that.
away from this conversation
not have a
and
friend
on
who's
to more
closer?
wholesome stuff.
Yeah, it's
I'm
more
so
big booty,
sorry
but-
that
Yeah.
Omar is at Gen Con and that he wasn't here. I think I said that earlier in the stream, but we're here to.
It was his idea.
That's right. It was.
Well,
his,
no,
you
it's
know
not
what?
a-
This is
it's not
Omar's
a
fault.
terrible idea. But
This is
you know.
Omar's fault once again, and that's okay to have him shoulder the blame on this.
Wow.
JD, hope you're doing okay. 2 seemingly forgotten complete collections for DC. Power Company by Busiek.
Yeah.
That's been one that we have placed on the Most Wanted Omnis poll and also on the Most Wanted DC Finest Lines poll. I would love to see it recompleted. I got a chance to read it on the, I'll just say, sites back a couple of years ago, but it is quite fun. It is indeed quite fun, and the only reason I read it is because of Busiek. We have Wade Silver Age Event Hover, the catalyst for the Tower of Babel, mentioned in its name. Was that? I don't think that was ever collected anywhere, actually, now that I think about it. But that doesn't mean that we can't ever get it collected. Someday they are already running through a lot of the DC Finest Justice League of America and Silver Age. I'm sure that whenever we get to International, etc., that will be in its own fun and whatnot. But for now, we should be. I don't know. I'm more than content with what DC is doing. I love the folks over at DC. So no. Omar isn't. It's not conspiring. It's preparation. There's a difference, guys. It's a different story.
Oh, Brian, please don't use that word. I really detest that. Don't. Stop, please.
I've already asked him to back off. On that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Oh man, you know what? I remember when I first watched. So I grew up with Sesame Street. Sesame Street was one of the shows that I watched as I was a kid. I loved Elmo's World. I loved Big Bird. I love all of them. The Count was so funny. And I remember watching a video like much later where he does the song, like the
yes,
I'm gonna count, and they replaced
the one. Yep.
Count with the F word.
Well, yes, sometimes they do the F word, but sometimes they just blank out the word count when he's doing his little dance. And like even if you blank that out, it still sounds filthy. Yeah.
Omar will be buried in an.
Oh yes, no,
that would be awesome.
That's probably true.
No, you know what? We had a conversation with it when we were talking with the folks at DC because we talked. The Tombstone Absolute Edition came up, and I can't remember if it was Dustin or somebody else, but we joked if Omar like ever passed away, we would use that Tombstone in Absolute as his graveyard tombstone.
Yeah.
For the cemetery that he'd be buried in. Yeah.
Jokingly,
by the way. Jokingly. I have to keep mentioning this because it seems like people think Omar's dead.
Well, I'm digressing a little, but so when I lived in New York and worked for Wizard, you would sometimes have reason to make, New Jersey was right next door. And so you'd make your way down to New Jersey. And there were neighborhoods in New Jersey that had graves in the front yard. It must have been from a point of development where you would just bury people in the front yards. And I was told that if you bought one of these houses, you were legally required to keep that grave and you couldn't add to it. So if you wanted to be buried in your yard, you couldn't do that. So they kind of locked it down. You can either add or subtract. But it was very strange because you drive down these residential districts And like, there's all these houses, but they have all these graves in the front yard. So
Well,
yeah,
this is a
streets-
new. What
some-
now?
some
There's
streets I'd swear had like 16 graves out of every 20 houses. It was quite bizarre.
You didn't talk about the street hot dog. You know, the one reason I want to go to New York is to eventually try out their street food.
Okay, sure.
I want
Sure.
I want hot dogs now. For whatever
Yeah.
reason, I'm just craving it.
what I have not heard of this.
Yeah.
So their graves in their front
They're
yard,
just
and they have to
graves in the front.
maintain them.
Certainly they can't remove them. Yeah. You're not allowed to remove it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like yeah, it's just known in advance. Like, you buy this house, it comes with a corpse. There you go. Or 2 corpses or whatever.
I like
it is.
corpses.
Yeah.
Exquisite corpses by
Exquisite
Michael
corpses.
Walsh.
I like the question in the feed about, yes, what comics do you want to be buried with? That's an excellent.
Oh, I
Great
just
question.
showed them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. There you go. There you go.
What
Yeah.
comics would I want to be buried with? I'd want to be buried with. I don't. The sad thing is, I just don't have many things signed. You know what? I would be
Does
buried.
it matter if
with
they're
my
signed?
Well, no, it's just I don't go to conventions. It's just
Okay,
whenever my
okay.
comic shop has a signing is the most I've done.
I see.
I would want to get myself buried with Dragon Hoops by Gino and Yang.
Mm.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
That is, I think, my favorite comic, like any graphic novel ever. And then Mark Brooks did. I got to meet Mark Brooks at San Diego. He was actually a very quiet fellow person. I told him the story of, like, I got like 5 of. He did a wonderful Lord's Supper homage cover for Immortal X-Men #1, and for whatever reason, not in a bad way, Marvel decided to make boxes out of it, and I tagged him on Twitter saying, "Hey, I got your boxes, Mark. I really love your art." He never replied, and I told him that story. He's like, "Oh, I feel really bad because I usually talk to people he used to talk to people a lot on that platform." Yeah, bury me with those 2, and I think I'll be okay.
I'm gonna throw in Green Lantern, Green Arrow 76.
Oh, yeah.
I still have that.
Okay.
And that, I think that might be the most meaningful comic in my collection.
There you go.
So I'd probably take that with me.
Cremated with druggy comics. Just Bragg 2025.
I thought I was being buried.
Well, and again, famously, the editor Mark Grunwald was cremated, and his cremains were added to a printing of Squadron Supreme, which was kind of his magnum opus. There was a separate occasion when a friend of his from Marvel came to work for Wizard, and I was in this guy's office, and because he and Mark were kind of besties, and this guy, he had some random stuff on his shelf, and I look in this box, and there's a human ponytail in the box,
Ugh.
and I was like, "What's going on with this?" He says, "Oh, that's Mark Grunwald's ponytail."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, was it cut off him before
The hair,
he
man.
was cremated? He said that no, there was occasion that Mark was growing out his hair long in the back, and he decided to get rid of it. So there was a Marvel meeting where he and his best friend, they planned this in advance. They pretended to have a fight and an argument, and then the bestie, like looking like he was escalating things, went up behind Mark, grabbed his ponytail, and cut it off. and everyone in the room is horrified because they think that they're genuinely fighting about this. It's like, no, we were just having them on, but he kept the ponytail. So.
I like that part.
Yeah,
I didn't know about the I learned new stuff. This has been a trippy stream, and I promise to everybody that I am 100% sober and not high. So
Same.
right, yeah, same.
DC Crane, thank you. I really appreciate that. And 2 big questions from Big Stu. Will Omar be doing more DC announcements, and when will the catalog be ready? Want to see what's upcoming. I'd love to know the exact answers to those 2. The issue is just the rollout is always so weird. So we have all of the stuff ready for all of these announcements. I think because those 2 DC Finest came out later today, I'm going to be putting out a video with those as well. Pretty much the schedule is much more wide open because a lot of it is reshuffling. It's funny because literally at the crunch up to San Diego Comic-Con, and this is also the reason to why when I left on Wednesday, I only had 3 hours of sleep, is because I was recording and uploading and making sure that everything is covered, just in case if there was stuff in the catalog that dropped while we were gone. We were there to be there. We have like 6 thumbnails made. They're all in the backlog. The thing is just when. And that's been the whole weird issue because of the way things are. And that is something that we have to navigate around.
Are we starting that back up, the DC solicits on Fridays? On a Friday?
For next, not for the October solicitations, but for the November ones, because they how do I describe it? We were supposed to do it last month, right? And
Yeah.
because they did it, they decided to do it at San Diego Comic-Con. That's why I mentioned the Pikachu alarm when I got the email from DC.
Okay.
Omar told me, "Hey, I'll meet you later at the convention. Go record the thing, and I'll see and we'll meet up later." I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." I even complained to him. I was like, "Man, do I really have to be recording at the hotel?" And he was like, "Dom, what do you think I do when some videos need to be made?" So I backed off, said, "Okay, I get to know how the grinding life is." But yes, we will be back third either the 14th or the 21st for solicitations for DC.
Okie doke. That's my favorite show.
It is my favorite show too.
Yeah.
Arcog, thank you for the super chat. You people have cost me so much money, time, storage space in my home.
Yay.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks for filling in. Peace and love. I hope that for everybody today, I wasn't too off the rails. But I always do appreciate talking to everybody here. Even if I haven't gotten to your question, apologies.
Well,
these Saturday live streams.
As usual, Dom, you were just batshit, but we love you anyway, so it's okay.
Don't plan murders while you're high. Don't go there.
No.
News Buoy, can either of you rank the? Oh man, I have my thoughts on this, but I'd like to hear what these two have to say.
I haven't read
Wolverine, Wolverine Goes to Hell, and Wolverine and the X-Men are the 3.
I haven't read them, so I'm interested in your thoughts.
I have. So my thing is, I think the high for me is the first Omni. Wolverine and the X-Men. I've told Omar this too. I hate that run. It's actually one of my least favorite runs I've ever read.
Oh wow!
Why? I don't like Jason Aaron doing team books. I think he does a lot better with smaller ensemble or solo characters, and that is a me thing. That is admittedly a preference that I have that I don't think a lot. Like it's the same reason to why I don't like his Avengers. I think he falls in love too much with the stereotypes, and I'm also Wolverine and the X-Men for me. When I read it, it just felt like Family Guy applied to a Wolverine book, and I didn't like a lot of the humor that he threw in there.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's not for me, but I respect anybody. I know that Omar loves it, and I know that a lot of other people love it, but that run was not for me. Great Nick Bradshaw art. I always like seeing Nick Bradshaw in interiors, but that is for me 1, 2, 3 in that order.
Hmm.
Okay.
Lars, have you read Jason Aaron's Wolverine?
I have. I actually enjoyed his Wolverine X-Men run. I didn't find it as deplorable as all that.
You like Kitty Pryde being impregnated by Brood?
I don't recall that bit.
That was come on, Lars.
It has been a while since I've read it. I actually own it. It has been a while since I've read it. I understand what you're saying. Because his Avengers run. Oh no. Oh dear. No.
That's why that was my first Aaron book too.
Yeah.
So maybe a lot of it.
The problem, I like all 3 of those. I think the problem is I like all 3 of them, but they exist for very different reasons. I mean, technically, I guess I put Wolverine and X-Men at the bottom only because it's more of a kind of found family sort of book, whereas his Wolverine run is, no holds barred sort of thing. There is something Wolverine is really put through the ringer in those. There's something really odd about the concept of, okay, we're going to send Wolverine to hell. And some of the other villains go, but wait a minute, this is Wolverine. He'll fight his way out of hell. And they go, oh yeah. But sending him to hell is step one. You know, that's the plan.
Yep.
I don't know, the two Aaron Wolverine volumes for me kind of are equal quality. I'm having a little. I guess technically I'd put Goes to Hell at the top.
At the top,
because that concept and that quality there was just so sky high. But his other Wolverine stuff is really great, and I liked the third one. I like all of them.
When DC is announcing the Omnis, it's just going to be a trickle-in effect. Even, again, it just comes in with the weirdness of it. We're going to have a stream at some point later in the month. Unfortunately, I don't know the date. Neither does Omar. So I would advise, to keep updated. I really wish that I had a better answer for all of you guys. But as of right now, wait for stuff to trickle in, and videos will be dropping overall for the next couple of days, if not weeks. So apologies again if I haven't covered the bases, and if you are interested in any of those upcoming DC omnibuses, not the ones in the catalog, but any ones that are coming out next week, because it's such a big week. Literally, Jess, it's like one of the biggest weeks I've ever seen. You can check out our friends over at Cheap Graphic Novels, who I also got. I had the chance to meet Max over the weekend, which was also super fun. They have incredible shipping, great customer service as well. And if you let them know that we sent you, you will be able to get free shipping off of your next order if you live in the United States. Check out cheapgraphicnovels.com for more information. And of course, if you want to join those AMAs where Omar apparently does a lot of wacky stuff. Okay. It's a high bar for me now, guys, because the stuff that he's like talking about and joking about after 3 a.m. I'm like, holy moly. I mean, it's the same Omar, but I have never seen unfiltered Omar in that sense. So that's what I'm saying. But if you want to see some filter on Omar, whatever, well, you can check out the Patreon. And I would like to thank these two wonderful gentlemen for joining me on the Saturday to talk to you guys. And again, apologies if I did not get to your guys' questions. There's just a lot when it comes to these Saturdays. But I hope I was at least able to clarify some things as well as I could. And Matt has a great segue. Jess, what time is the stream later today, and where can people find you?
Oh, well, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Dom. Good to see you, Lars. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the live version of Essential Collected Editions for August 2026, where I will be joined by Dom himself. That way. Okay, sorry. And Webhead from collected comicreleases.com, which is awesome. So, 5 p.m. today.
5 p.m. today, 2 p.m. my time if you are on the West Coast. Quickly, Lars, who's your favorite Doctor Who, and where can people find you? Quickly.
Sylvester McCoy. And Lars Pearson, publisher and editor-in-chief of Mad Norwegian Press. We can be found at madnorwegian.com. We still have a moving day sale. Stuff is discounted if you're into Doctor Who books and whatnot. And we will I hope to soon be putting out the pre-order for the second edition of About Time 2, which is our breathtaking analysis of the Patrick Troughton years of Doctor Who. But
no breathalyzer? Okay, fair enough.
No breathalyzer. Hopefully that pre-order will be up pretty soon, but I'm still waiting on some last tiny little bit of corrections on that.
Oh, a lot of corrections. You can check out my own channel at Dom of X, where I will be doing stuff. I will also be probably posting. People really liked my Supergirl movie review, so I will be doing one for Brand New Day as well, it seems like. So if I watch a superhero movie, I am going to go on to talk about whatever it is that I want to talk about. You can also check us out, comicrelease.com, where I have more stories from SDCC about this website. And also the Patreon as well. If you want to help out, it's only $2 a month. It helps the server out, also helps my wallet out, but it also does help the site. And I do mean that. We do have a Discord as well. I think that this is where we will leave off. I want to thank everybody for joining us on the Saturday. Omar will be back next week, so you do not have to worry about me. Well, actually, I might join because sometimes I do join in those live streams. Please stay safe, guys. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Please take care.
Yep.
Peace
Thanks
and
all.
love.
Peace and love.